I like to say Samba, Salama, Salama Samba, Shabbat Shalom, Happy Sabbath. To Yah be all the glory, honor, and the praise, thanksgiving to his name. I thank the Most High Yah that he has blessed me and my family to see another Sabbath day, a day of rest in which he has ordained from the beginning, whom he himself, the Most High Yah, has rested on. And because he rested on this day, it remains holy, sanctified, set apart, the only true day of worship, the only true day of worship, the only true day of worship every week. This is a feast day of the week. This is a weekly feast day. I know we don't get to enjoy each other like we should, but Yah knows each and every situation that we are in because he has brought this upon us because of our own transgressions. We are divided, separated, and cast through the four corners of the wind or the four corners of the earth. So I give him glory for this opportunity and him bringing this short message to mind. And it's kind of, this is going to be a kind of a, I guess, part two to a message I brought a couple of weeks ago. And we're living in the day and time that is so necessary to know, according to the word of the Most High, that those that we receive teaching from, that they are teaching us according to the word of the Most High Yah, which is his laws, statutes, commandments, and judgments. And everything else in the scripture, whether in the Apocrypha or in any other writings that some of us might go by, including with the whether it's from the Septuagint or any other, documented writing that we may prescribe to, that those that are giving us teaching or doctrine, that we ourselves be readily equipped to know what is truth and what is not truth, what is a deceptive tactic and what is just pure, honest truth. So it is my endeavor, it is my mandate from the Most High to teach truth. Hold on. So it is my mandate from the Most High, and one day I don't know if I ever told that event or even gave a testimony of my early life before I actually became a preacher. I'll just say preacher, a Nabi, or Nabi. So anyway, this is something that me and my wife talk about a lot. How different false prophets are so successful in deceiving. Okay, so if you understand Satan from the beginning, understand Satan from the beginning. Satan never changes tactics. Satan never changes tactics. He might dress things up to divert attention to something, but Satan never changed his tactics from the beginning. So when you go to the beginning in the garden, the first encounter that is had between Eve and Satan, when Satan tells Eve that he did lie, but then he did tell the truth. And so he told Eve, when Eve said, the Most High commanded us that we should not supposed to touch the fruit, eat the fruit, or anything like that. And Satan says, Yah does surely know that the day you eat thereof, thou will become like gods, knowing good and evil. Something to that effect. I can't remember exactly, but you get the gist of what I'm saying. So after they have eaten the fruit, then the Most High says that we got to put, I'm paraphrasing, we got to put man out of the garden because he has become one of us to know good and evil. And lest he put his hand to the tree of life and live forever. So what the Most High was saying in that event in Genesis, that the tree of life, once you eat the tree of life, then the state you're in as you're eating it, that's the state you will live in perpetually. So man was supposed to live perfect as he was created. If Father Adam had eaten the tree of life from the beginning, all the things that we suffer through, we would never be going through it. At least, in theory. Because what I mean by that is Satan was present, so the offspring could have possibly, but it's because we would have been living in the garden, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil was there, and the tree of life was there. So we would have to continually to keep that mandate, that command, not to touch the tree of life. So there you go. Okay. So that tactic of mingling truth with a lie is the means in which Satan deceives. It is the mean which his ministers use to deceive. So there's always a mingling of truth and lie to deceive. And it's our mandate, it's our responsibility, if we truly, and I say this so sincerely and deeply, that we have to have a mind, and that mind does not come of our own accord. The Most High has to give us a mind of desiring truth, no matter what the cost of life. We need to desire truth. That can only come from him. That desire can only come from the Most High. It is him that stimulates, regulates, and alters the original mindset to do sin. we are born in a body that is um that automatically gravitates towards sin. Are we born sinners? No, we're born child with the propensity to sin. So it's up to, and it goes back from generation, generation, generation. I explained this, I'm sure, several times in other videos, that how you are brought up weighs heavily on how you act, how you live, how you think as an adult. So in a lot of cases, I would, me myself, now comparing two different scenarios, I myself was raised by parents that were in a commandment keeping organization, so to speak, commandment keeping organization. So my father taught me and four siblings, so it's five of us, uh, the word of the Most High. Taught the commandments. We kept the Sabbath day. Once he learned the feast days, and I'll do it. I'll later on, the Most High, willing, I will do a message on the feast days, specifically. Okay. Okay. So my father taught us the word. Now, out of, well, I won't even go there. I won't even go there. But I was taught being the youngest out of five children. I was taught the word of the Most High by my father, and a lot of things you really don't even understand. Oh, thank you. Excuse me. Really don't understand as you're growing up and being taught, and you see, you think as a child, you act like a child, and you do childish things. So you see other people doing other things on the Sabbath day that you're not allowed to do, and that weighs heavy on a child. But the Most High has His hand on us, some of us that He has chosen by His own power. I don't even begin to understand that portion of it. But anyway, so the word of the Most High, like it, the parable is given in what is known as the Gospels during the life of the Messiah, uh, where he gives a parable of the sower, where the sower went out to his field, to plant seed. Some fell in some fell by the wayside, some fell in stony places, some fell among thorns and thistles, but some fell on good ground. Okay, so when so in the parable, he gives the breakdown of what those different places, what they represent based in the heart of a man, or woman. Okay, so when the seed of the word, which is the word of the Most High, is planted in you, if your mind has been properly prepared, by the Most High, that, hold on. Okay, so where was I? So, so the Most High has to prepare our heart to receive a heart that the 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 good ground where seed fell um, is the mind. Everything is based upon the mind, heart. That just as a farmer or husbandman plant seed in the earth, and when the earth is um, the earth is properly prepared, fertile, all that good stuff that causes the seed to germinate and grow and produce fruit. So is the mind of a man or woman. Their mind has to be prepared to receive the word of the Most High, the seed of the word of the Most High, the word of the Most High. Okay, so in that parable, it says it brought forth fruit, some 20, some 60, some 30, some 100-fold, whatever it is, So it's one of the things is constantly overlooked in Scripture is that Isolale, Israel is a community. It is a nation of people that were all, for the most part, all related. It started with Adam, Seth, down through the righteous line of Adam. The righteous line of Adam. After Cain murdered Abel, then the Most High gave them Seth. Through Seth, Noah's line came. And through Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Shem was the righteous seed, and Eber was the progenitor of the Abrahamic line, and Abraham produced Isaac, Isaac, and Jacob. Okay, so through those righteous line came Moses and Jacob. I'm sorry, let me back up. Jacob was the progenitor of the 12 tribes of Isolale, of Israel. Okay, so they all knew each other. So this is what this is where I'm going to. This is where I wanted to. I said all that to come here to the scriptures. Okay, not the scriptures, but some letters of Paul. To help you understand the importance of not to listen to everybody on YouTube, that seek the Most High. You have to seek the Most High for yourself. That's something my father taught me. That's something one of my mentors taught me. Basically, all my mentors taught me this, particularly my father, that I had to know the Most High for myself. You have to know the Most High for yourself. And when you know the Most High for yourself, you will automatically connect with even though you're not in the presence of somebody, just what they speak, what they say, um, your inner man, your spirit man will connect with that individual that also has a similar mindset of to know, speak, and live truth. So the Most High knows how to bring you together with those people. It's a life process that cannot be obtained overnight, over a year, over, so it is a life process that you know the truth and know those that labor among you. Okay? And that takes me to 1 Thessalonians 5th chapter, starting at verse 9. For Yah hath not appointed us to wrath, but to obtain salvation by our Elimo, or our Tata Nzambi, Isaiah Congo, who died for us, that whether we wake or sleep, we should live together with him. Wherefore, comfort yourselves together and edify one another, even as also ye do. So you see right here, it says we should live together with him. Wherefore, verse 11, 1 Thessalonians 5th chapter, we're at verse 11. Wherefore, comfort yourselves together, and edify one another together. It doesn't say together, but that's the context. Even as also ye do. So, if you live with somebody, brother, sister, mother, father, wife, husband, cousin, auntie, uncle, and us as a community, the melanated people in the earth, we understand, like, the most part of us, something about us, in us. We use these terminologies that connect us, like somebody in on the other side of the world, maybe on the other side of the world, or across the earth. Somebody on the other side of the United States, on the East Coast. I live in the West Coast. Somebody in the East Coast. If we're communicating, what's up, fam? Or what's up, family? We family. Okay, so there's something in us. There's something in us that causes us to know that we are connected. We're connected, and it's not. Melanin does have a lot to do with it, but it's not just that alone. It is our ancestry coming alive in us, whether you realize it or not. Our ancestry coming alive in us and connecting us to each other. That we are slowly but surely coming to realize that as a melanated people and the offspring of Abana, Isaka, and Yakubi, we are part of the 12 tribes of Isolale, the children of Isolale. And whether the other one realizes it or not, that connection is there. But a lot of people don't think about, why do we do this or that or say this or that? Or like something my grandfather used to do, my dad did. We can be someplace where we don't know anybody, but we see a black person, we go like, "What's up?" And they say, "What's up?" You know, it's I don't see no other culture doing that. I don't see no other culture doing that. But that's something that we do because for some reason, something in us, uh, uh, we come alive when we see people that look like us and other people that look like each other. The Mundele, the Kari and Pimba, they don't do that. They only speak to people for the most part that they know. So let me continue. So I hope you understand where I'm going. Even as ye, even as also ye do. And we beseech you, brethren, we plead with you. Please, we beseech you. Please, I'm begging you to do this. Brethren. And my father had to teach me this, that brethren means exactly what it says. Brethren. We are connected, we are related physically. We are blood related. That's what that brethren really means. It means exactly that. To know them which labor among you and are over you in Tata and Zambi, Yahweh, and admonish you, and to esteem them very highly in love for their works' sake, and be at peace among yourselves. Now we exhort you, brethren, warn them that are unruly, comfort the feeble minded, support the weak, be patient toward all men. See that none render evil for evil unto any man, but ever follow that which is good, both among yourselves and to all men. So, if you are being taught, or if you belong to a church, if you belong to a religious organization, if you don't know the pastor, the person that is teaching you on a level of intimacy, you better be careful. You better be careful. Because, for one, if anybody, I don't care who you're listening to, take the responsibility upon yourself to study the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High Yah. Because when you're reading, I'm like I'm reading in the New Testament right now. But the context of I say this all the time. I know this is not the first time I've said this. The context of the New Testament, to truly understand what is being said in the New Testament from Matthew all the way to Revelations, to truly understand what is in what they're talking about in the New Testament, you have to know the law, the prophets, and the Psalms. The law, the prophet, and the Psalms. When you get, especially the law, the word of the Most High, the law and the word of the Most High one thing. The word of Yah is not anything outside of the law. The word of the Most High is exactly what it says. It is his word that he spoke to Moses. Moses was the vessel of the Most High. That's why it's also known as the law of Moses, because he was the distributor of the law. But the law is eternal. The law is eternal. The law was from the beginning, before man was created. Okay? The law was from the beginning. So think of it like this. When the disciples or the apostles came to Yehoshua, asking him, teach us how to pray. And he said, pray after this manner. Our Father, I'll say it like it's written. Exactly how it's written. Our Father, who art in heaven. Hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. Thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. So, heaven is the Most High's throne. The earth is his footstool. That's Bible. So, the command or the word of the Most High is eternal. The Most High's word is eternal in the heavens, coming from him, and whatever the Maleki are commanded to do, or whatever their job is, or how it works up there, the same thing is supposed to take place down here. So when he's saying thy will, like when you write out a will and testament, the will and testament of the Most High is his law. But he ain't dead. He's ever living. It's called a living will or living trust. Look it up. It's called a living trust or a living will. That which you want to be done by your offspring, or those that will be the recipients of the inheritance that comes through the obedience of your word. So people stipulate in their will that in order for you to receive your inheritance, this is what you must do. If you want the inheritance, it's yours. But this is something that you have to do. It happens all the time. Ask rich people. If you don't know somebody rich, look it up, Google it, do something. But I'm speaking fact. Fact. So, just like that, in the case of Abraham, there's a lot of things about Abraham's life that we don't read. But if you read the Book of Jubilees, or the Book of Jubilees, the Book of Enoch, the Book of Yasser, right? If you read those, it will give you a much clearer understanding of Abraham's life, that Abraham knew the law, statutes, and commandment. I gave you the scripture in Genesis. That Abraham knew the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. Before Abraham was before Moses, but he knew the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High. And guess what? He taught. He taught. What was his the Hagar's son? Ishmael. He taught Ishmael. He taught Isaac. And I think it was Ishmael. So I think this was in when I read, I think it's in the book of, might be Jasher or Jubilees, that Abraham went to visit. It was Isaac. It was Ishmael. Abraham went to visit Ishmael after he had married this woman or something. I don't know, it's one woman or two women, but he married against what he was taught. He married against what he was taught. So he was out hunting or doing something, but he wasn't there. Ishmael wasn't there when Abraham came to visit. And he came to the tent where his wife was. Now, according to our culture, our tradition, it's according to culture and tradition that when a traveler comes to our abode, that we wash his feet and we prepare food for him or them. But she did not only did she not do that, she was somewhat, not out and out, but she was somewhat disrespectful. So he leaves. It's very interesting. You got to check this out. You got to research this. He leaves a message for his son Ishmael that only Ishmael would understand exactly what the message meant, right? So it says something about there's a peg in the house and you need to remove the peg, or something to that effect. I can't remember everything it said. So when Ishmael comes back, he receives the message from his wife, and he immediately understands what his father had said. He put the woman away and he married somebody else that was more suitable. That was the message. She was not acceptable to the father. She was disrespectful and didn't follow traditional protocol of not only a traveler but a elderman, and did not honor the eldermen. It did not do that which was right according to the tradition customs of Bantu people. Okay, so why am I saying all this? To know those that labor among you. To know those that labor among you. To know the scriptures for yourself. Know the laws, statutes, and commandments and judgments of the Most High for yourself. And when the Most High empowers you by your study, by your commitment, by your humility, by your yielding yourself to the will of the Most High, His word, by yielding yourself to these things, that he will endow you with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to determine those that be false prophets, false teachers, false pastors, whatever. That we're living in that day that Isaiah, the Messiah, said that these things would happen. That a magnitude, just false teachers, false prophets shall arise and deceive many. Shall deceive many. Okay? So it's my endeavor, my mandate, my desire by the Most High that you be no longer deceived. Okay, my second scripture, that was 1Thess, 5th chapter, 9 through 15. Okay, this is Ephesians, the 4th chapter. Ephesians, the 4th chapter. Okay. Now, I'll just read it and now I'll go into whatever the Most High has me to say. This is Ephesians, the 4th chapter, starting at verse 11 and reading through maybe 17. Okay. And he gave some apostles and some prophets and some evangelists and some pastors and teachers for the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry, for the edifying of the body of the Most High Yah, till we all come in the unity of the faith, unity of the faith, unity of the faith, and of the knowledge of the Son of Yah, unto a perfect man, unto the measure of the stature of the fullness of Isaiah, Congo, that we, here we go, verse 14, we henceforth be no more children, tossed to and fro, and carried about with every wind of doctrine, by the sleight of men and cunning craftiness, whereby they lie in wait to deceive. Let me read this again. Verse 14, Ephesians, the 4th chapter, verse 14, that we henceforth be no more children, tossed to and fro, and carried about with every wind of doctrine. So what most people do not teach, what most preachers don't teach, is doctrine of the Bible, the doctrine of the apostles, the doctrines of Paul, the doctrine of Isaiah, the Messiah, Yehoshua. The doctrine of Yehoshua is the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, because he came, it says it in the New Testament, he came in the fullness of the law. He was the physical manifestation of the law. That's why, if you believe in that, that's why he was the only one that was capable and had the standing to suffer what he suffered. He was a perfect person. And he lived a perfect life. He lived according to the law of the Most High 100%. 100%. So, every wind of doctrine. So, why does it say every wind? So, you go outside on a cool day, hot day, cold day, and you catch a breeze, the wind is blowing, right? And it passes. You catch a breeze, the wind blows, don't know where it came from. You don't know where it came from. The Bible testifies to this. The wind is something that's so mysterious that you don't know where it comes from and you don't know where it's going. You don't know where it's coming, where it came from, and you don't know where it's going. Carried about with every wind of doctrine. So, all these Christian preachers, Muslim preachers, I'm only talking because that's a whole nother issue. I'll just stick to right there. All these Christian preachers, what did it say? This is what they do. Oh, I'm right there already. Oh, I haven't got to that part. I'm thinking ahead of myself. I'm sorry. Carried about with every wind of doctrine by the sleight of men and cunning craftiness, whereby they lie in wait to deceive. All these Christian preachers, especially the ones that have been to the cemeteries to learn, the cemeteries where they go to these cemeteries and they learn the cemetery colleges, seminaries. I'm trying to be funny. Seminaries. Especially those that have been to those places, that there is a magnitude of truth that they have to teach. Historical, they teach history, they teach a whole bunch of stuff that once you graduate and you go behind the pulpit, they ain't teaching none of that. They're not teaching you any of that. So it's up to us as individuals that we enjoin ourselves to those that we know. That I don't really care for this person, but he does speak a lot of truth. And so this is something that we have to be honest with each other with. That people that speak truth are not well liked. People that speak truth. People that speak truth are not well liked. And that is according to what Yehoshua said, that a prophet is not without honor except in his home, in his own hometown, among his family members, those that actually know him dishonor him. Because when it comes down, this is like, then aren't you kind of speaking against yourself? Or no. This is what I'm trying to make you understand, is that you yourself as an individual may know a family member that is an Israelite, or I don't know, called, somebody saying they're called to preach, or any of those type of things, right? And you never really connected with that person for one reason or another. You never really connected that person. So you basically keep your distance. I don't like him, he don't like me, or you think he don't like you. But a lot of times we base what people think based upon our own selves. That has nothing to do with that individual. Okay? Remember that. So if it's possible, you reconnect with this person, you find out this person's not what you thought. This person lives a set apart lifestyle. This person truly has the heart to know and live according to the way of the Most High. Unless you put aside your own preconceived notions of a person, that's the only way for you to truly get to know a person. Because family have preconceived notions about other family members. I'm not telling you something I've been told. I'm telling you something I know. True story. So that's why in 1 Thess it says, to know them which labor among you. Labor, working in the truth. They have, you see that they have this ability to teach, preach, and give understanding of the word of the Most High. Labor among you, and are not necessarily over you, but it could be an older cousin, an uncle, your father that you've been disconnected with, your mother that you've been disconnected with. It could be any of those scenarios that the Most High might and will set up and admonish you, that will set up for you if you have that mindset to truly know the truth. Okay? That it is my life experience that the Most High has laid a path before me, that as I walked that path, I encountered different people who taught me a lot of things according to the word of the Most High, according to what is written and what is not written. And teaching me the fundamentals of life in the Most High. And helping me understand a lot of things I understand now and able to convey to somebody else. Have I reached the pinnacle of where I'm supposed to reach? No, I have not. But the things I've learned, I want to teach somebody else that everybody has their own path. Everybody has the path of the Most High that the Most High has laid out for them. And we all have to walk that path to get to the place where the Most High at the end of the road, that all those individuals on a path, look at it as the roots of a tree or the veins of a gold mine, or the veins of your body, that as those are paths, that every individual vein and capillary are the path of different individuals that we may know, most we don't know. And as we follow those paths that we are as individuals are on, all those paths lead to one place: the heart, the physical heart. I'm just giving an example. Or the roots of a tree. If it's a large tree, then there's a lot of roots down there. And all those roots are leading to one place: the tree. So as we follow those paths, we encounter different people, some good, some bad. And along that journey, we should gain wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. If we don't gain wisdom and knowledge and understanding, then that path or that vein or that root will dry up and eventually drop off and die. Or die and drop off. I hope you see where I'm going with that. So, know those that labor among you. Know those that labor among you, that we henceforth be no more children tossed to and fro and carried about with every wind of doctrine, teaching. Doctrine means teaching. So I give you one example of a popular false prophet that me and my wife often discuss. That in his congregation, okay, there's a lot of things that he does that's according to truth. He has a job. He does not receive, at least he says, does not receive tithes and offering. He doesn't believe in Christmas. He believes women should wear head coverings. He separates the men and women in the congregation, one side women, one side men. And so there's a lot of things that he teaches that's truth. But what is his foundation? What is his foundation? The foundation is what you build upon, what the structure sits on. So if his foundation is not the literal law, and I don't know why people have a problem with the word law or Torah, or you got a problem with that word, then you don't understand nothing. This is the law of the Most High, the command of the Most High. I really don't understand why people have a problem with the word law. And that's another thing that another wind of doctrine that these false prophets do. Oh, that's legalism. They use all these terminologies that has nothing to do with Scripture or the Bible. Nothing. Be no more children, that we henceforth be no more children, tossed to and fro and carried about with every wind of doctrine by the sleight of men and cunning craftiness, whereby they lie in wait to deceive. Let me make you perfectly understand that people are waiting on you. They are waiting to deceive you. What did the Messiah tell Peter? Satan has desired to sift you as wheat. Satan desires to destroy you. But I have prayed for you that your faith fail not. Get the law in you. The law is life. The law is life. The law is life. The law is not just a bunch of rules and regulations. It is the breath of life from Yah, the Creator, the Most High Creator. The law is the breath of life of Yah. I can't make it more clear than that. So when you hear things, you will understand and know that this is every wind of doctrine by the sleight of men and cunning craftiness, whereby they lie in wait to deceive. One example is very clear in the law of the Most High, that he said it from his mouth: do not eat swine's flesh. Not only don't eat it, but don't touch it, lest you be defiled. It is an abomination unto you. Eating swine's flesh is an abomination. In no shape, form, or fashion did the Messiah, did the 12 apostles, the disciples, Paul, any of them, any individual in the New Testament ever said it's okay to eat swine's flesh. If any preacher is telling you that it's okay to eat swine flesh according to what is written in the New Testament, they're literally lying to you, and they're lying on the Most High Creator, Yah. It's just that simple. Read, study Leviticus, the 11th chapter. read, study Deuteronomy, the 14th chapter. And it will tell you what the Most High said it is okay to eat, what is not okay to eat from creation. Why do you think he told it's just, see, this is the thing, that these preachers, they don't live according to the law of Yah, and they try to teach you things against the law of Yah. Can nobody teach you anything according to the law of Yah if they're not living according to the law of Yah? That's where holiness, righteousness, sanctification take place. That's where your sanctification and holiness lie. By you keeping the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. This is what sets you apart. This is what makes you acceptable to Yah. This is what makes you acceptable to Yah. Any preacher that preach holiness and righteousness, ask them what is the standard of your holiness and righteousness? Ask them that. What is your standard? What, if you have the ability, or if you belong to a church and they preach holiness, righteousness, all these different things, go to them, but know for yourself before you confront. That when they speak to you, that you know in your mind, don't be disrespectful to them. But you know in your mind the truth. That the standard of all holiness and righteousness is according to the law, is the law, is the Torah. It is the law of Moses. It is the law, statute, commandments, and judgments of the Most High. Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. The first 5. If they say whatever they say, because you already know they're not teaching you the law. They're not teaching you the commandments. So where is your standard of righteousness, preacher? What is your standard of righteousness? If you preach holiness and righteousness, that we're supposed to live holy and righteous, what is that standard? Where is that coming from? It doesn't come from osmosis because the crucifixion of Yehoshua HaMashiach. It doesn't come by osmosis. That just because you believe, or I believe according to faith, that he died for my sins and this and that and the other, so because of just I believe, but what is your living? What is your standard of living that aligns you and makes you set apart, that makes you holy? What is your standard of life that corresponds to Scripture? You have to know these things. That we henceforth be no more children tossed to and fro and carried about with every wind of doctrine by the sleight of men and cunning craftiness whereby they lie in wait to deceive. The Most High, Yehoshua said it was going to happen. History repeats itself. Constantly, history repeats itself. But verse 15, but speaking the truth in love, speaking the truth in love. So love is according to the law. That when you go back to the law and you study the law and find out, you just look up the word love and how many instances it talks about love in the context of obeying the law. So the Most High said, "Hear, O Israel, our Tata and Zambi, our Most High Yah is one. Thou shalt love him with all thy heart, with all thy mind, with all thy soul, and with all thy strength." So when the Yehoshua came on the scene, they asked him, "What is the greatest commandment in the law?" Thou shalt love the Most High Yah with all thy mind, with all thy heart, with all thy soul, with all thy strength. And he said, the second is like unto it. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets. On these two commandments, love the Most High Yah with everything that you're made of, heart, mind, soul, and strength. The second is like unto it, love thy neighbor as thyself. So when you look at the literal 10 commandments, which the Most High spoke to Moses in front of all of his Sodale after they came out of Kamata or Egypt, the first 4 commandments is directly our relationship to the Most High. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image. Thou shalt not take the name of Yahweh thy Almighty in vain. Thou remember the Sabbath. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6. Everything else, the last 6 is pertaining to from parent to everybody else that's close to us in relationship and people that we know. Number 6, honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long. The first commandment with promise. Honor thy father and thy mother. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife. The last 6 is directly related to our relationship with mankind, from father to mother to everybody else. That's why he said, on these two hang all the law and the prophets. Love towards Yah, love towards your fellow man, starting with your parents. So if you have been disconnected or never knew your father or your mother, if you grew up in a single family home, you still, if they are alive, how do you know that by you connecting or reconnecting with them, that you can't be a strong, righteous influence in their lives and you could win them to the Most High? That they learn that who they are, their true heritage, and cause them to turn their life around. Don't hold grudges against your parent for not being there. Your father, oh, my father was never there, so forget that nigga and all this. No, that's not the way of the Most High. That's not the way of the Most High. how do you know you cannot win them? How do you know that if you reconnect, you can be that light that they need? Anyway, you even though they did not do right by you, it is your command to do right by them. It is your command to do right by them. Okay? But speaking truth in love, love is according to the law. Love is law. The love is Yah. Yah is love. Yah is love. May grow up into him in all things, which is the head, even Hamashiach, even Kuswa, from whom the whole body fitly joined together and compacted by that which every joint supplieth according to the effectual working in the measure of every part, maketh increase of the body into the edifying of itself in love. This I say therefore, and testify in Tata and Zombie, that ye henceforth walk not as other Gentiles. Don't live as a Gentile. You are a solele. Other Gentiles walk in the vanity of your mind. One more scripture. This is Acts, the 2nd chapter, verse 22. Ye men of Isolele, hear these words. Isaiah, Yehoshua of, I don't know, Nazareth, a man approved of Yah among you by miracles and wonders and signs, which Yah did by him in the midst of you, as ye yourselves also know. So not only did the Yehoshua, Isaiah, was approved of Yah, this is why he had 12 of, he lived in the land of Judah. He lived in the land of Judah. This is I can't remember exactly 100% the exact time period, but it was after the Greek Empire and the Roman Empire. I don't think the Roman Empire has reached the pinnacle at this particular time. But this was during that period when he walked on the earth, that he walked among his relatives. His relatives knew his daddy, his mama. They knew his lineage. They knew his lineage. They knew his lineage. Those that were of the priesthood. The priesthood was supposed to be only from the line of Aaron. Aaron was the oldest brother to Moses, and they came from the line of Levi. They came from the priest. Levi or Levi was the priesthood, was to be the priesthood line. And after the establishment of the priesthood, everybody else that was supposed to be of the priesthood came from the line of Aaron. Why am I saying this? Because each tribe had their particular role in Asolale, in Israel. I hate saying that word. Had their particular role in Asolale. Levi was the priesthood line. I don't know them all. Judah was the royal line. Judah was the royal line. David was from the line of Judah. Isaiah was from the line of Judah. So we as followers of the word of the Most High must understand that we are all connected. We are literally all family. And the Most High is bringing us together. Know those that labor among you. Know those that labor among you. So, if you have any questions for me, please, I don't make it a habit of like, please give me a thumbs up and share. Please share these videos. Please share the videos. If you are being edified, if it's, I don't have that many followers, and that's to a certain degree okay with me. But if you have been listening to my videos, please subscribe and share. You never know what the most. I work or will be working again. I had shoulder surgery, so I had to leave the company I worked for. But it's my endeavor to give you truth. And I will receive any question. I may not get to the question right away, but I guarantee you I will read your question and I will answer it by the will of the Most High appropriately to give you the truth. To give you the truth. It's my mandate to be the vessel of truth. That's why my channel is called The Word of Truth. The Word of Truth. To Yah be the glory. I hope you are completely edified by this and you take this message to heart. Study to know thyself approved unto Yah. A workman needeth not be ashamed, rightly divide the word of truth. And it just came to my mind one more time. As you read the New Testament from Matthew to Revelation, understand in its context, it does not exist that those that are preaching in the New Testament, they are preaching, teaching according to the law and the prophets. They are preaching, teaching from the law and the prophets. That is how you contextualize the New Testament from Matthew to Revelation. Read it as it does not exist now. And all you have to go by is the law and the prophets. And you will gain better understanding of what's being taught in the New Testament. If somebody's teaching you other than that, according to the law and the prophets, if they're teaching you New Testament and not connecting the law and the prophets to what's being taught in the New Testament, and they're teaching against the law, which is the foundation of all things, if you destroy the foundation, what's going to stand? If you destroy the foundation, there's no New Testament. The New Testament can only stand if there's a law and prophets, particularly the law. There's the New Testament cannot stand up without the foundation. The New Testament is part of the structure that the Messiah speaks of, where the guy, two people go to build a house. One builds on sand, and one digs in the earth to find where the hard layer of earth lies, so he can build his house on that. That's the context of the Bible. That's the context of the Bible. That's the context of the New Testament. That when you build that house, the structure has to be on something hard and unbreakable. That's the law of the Most High. That's the word of the Most High. That is the law and the prophets. The law, the law, statutes and commandments, the love of Yah. For this is the love of Yah, that we should keep his commandments. For his commandments are not grievous. May Yah bless thee and keep thee. May Yah make his face shine upon thee and be gracious unto thee. May Yah lift up his countenance upon thee and give thee peace. Shabbat Shalom. Samba Salama. Salamba Samba. Happy Sabbath. Sabbath peace to all.